Tonight is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on the stage is pretty unlikely. My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya. He grew up herding goats, went to school in a tin roof shack. His father, my grandfather, was a cook, a domestic servant to the British. But my grandfather had larger dreams for his son. Through hard work and perseverance, my father got a scholarship to study in a magical place, America, that shone as a beacon of freedom and opportunity. While studying here, my father met my mother. She was born in a town on the other side of the world in Kansas. Her father worked on oil rigs and farms through the most of the Depression, and they too had big dreams for their daughter, a common dream, born of two countries. My parents shared not only an improbable love, they shared an abiding faith in the possibilities of this nation. They would give me an African name, Barak, or blessed, believing that in a tolerant America, your name is no barrier to success. They imagined me going to the best school in the land, even though they weren't rich, because in generous America, you don't have to be rich to achieve your potential. On this night, they look down at me with great pride. I stand here knowing that my story is part of a larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible. Our pride is based on very simple premise, summed up in a declaration made over 200 years ago. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And my fellow Americans, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, I say to you tonight, we have more work to do. More work to do for the Americans I met in Galesburg, Illinois, who are losing their union jobs at the Maytag plant that's moving to Mexico, and now are having to compete with their own children for jobs that pay $7 an hour. More to do for the father that I met who was losing his job and choking back tears, wondering how he would make his $4,500 a month for drugs his sons need without the health benefits that he counted on. More to do for the young women in East St. Louis and thousands more like her, who has the grades, has the drive, has the will, but doesn't have the money to go to college. Now, don't get me wrong. The people I meet in small towns and big cities, in diners and office parks, they don't expect the government to solve their problems. They know they have to work hard and get ahead, and they want to. People don't expect the government to solve their problems, but they sense, deep in their bones, that with just a slight change in priorities, we can make sure that every child in America has a decent shot at life, and the doors of opportunity remain open to all. A while back, I met a young man named Shamus in the hall of East Moline, Illinois. He was a good-looking kid, 6'2", 6'3", clear-eyed with an easy smile. He told me he'd joined the Marines. He was heading to Iraq the following week. And as I listened to him explain why he enlisted, the absolute faith he had in his country and its leaders, his devotion to duty and service, I thought this young man was all that any of us might hope for in a child. But I asked myself, are we serving Shamus as well as he is serving us? I thought of the 900 men and women, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, friends and neighbors who won't be returning to their hometowns. I thought of the families I've met who's struggling to get by without a loved one's full income, or whose loved ones have returned with a limb missing or a nerve shattered, but still lack long-term health benefits because there were reservists. When we send our young men and young women into harm's way, we have a solemn obligation to not fudge the numbers or shade the truth about where they're going, to care for their families while they're gone, to tend to the soldiers upon their return, and to never go to war without enough troops to win the war, secure the peace, and earn the respect of the world. That is not enough for some of us to prosper. For alongside our famous individualism, there's an ingredient in the American saga, a belief that we are all connected as one people. If there's a child on the south side of Chicago who can't read, that matters to me, even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen somewhere who can't pay their prescription drugs and chooses between medicine and rent, that makes my life poorer, even if it's not my grandparent. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Now, even as we speak, there are those preparing to divide us. Well, I say to them tonight, there is no liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. There is no Black America and White America, or Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. We are all one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the stars and stripes, all of us defending the United States of America. I'm not talking about blind optimism here. I'm talking about something more substantial. It's the hope of slaves sitting around the fire singing freedom songs, the hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores, hope in the face of difficulty, hope in the face of uncertainty. In the end, that is God's greatest gift to us, the bedrock of this nation, a belief in things not seen, a belief that there are better days ahead. America, tonight, if you feel the same energy that I do, if you feel the same urgency that I do, if you feel the same passion that I do, if you feel the same hopefulness that I do, if we do what we must do, then I have no doubt that all across the country, from Florida to Oregon, from Washington to Maine, the people will rise up and this country will reclaim its promise. And out of the long political darkness, a brighter day will come.